Warren Buffett once was interviewed by the journalist, and the journalist asked Warren Buffett, "Hey, Warren, what is the best investment people can do?" And everybody was expecting Warren Buffett to talk about, Coca-Cola or an ETF or some kind of investment. And Warren Buffett said the best investment that anyone can make is not in real estate, is not in the stock market, it's in themselves.
The Connect Coaching Unplugged.
We're live here, Connect Unplugged, number 18, with a good friend of ours, Sebastian Leblond. Sebastian is live streaming in from Vietnam. Sebastian does spend most of his time in Thailand. Sebastian is founder, owner, director, and overall really good guy. And he has a very, very well-known NLP training school in Thailand called NLP Top Coach. And Sebastian also travels around Southeast Asia running world's leading NLP certification training. Sebastian Leblond is a well-sought-after speaker, author, certified NLP master trainer, and wealth coach for individuals and corporations who want to unleash their power to achieve success and happiness, to have an extraordinary life in their business, career, relationship, wealth, and health. Sebastian, welcome on behalf of Kallum and myself to the Unplugged podcast number 18.
Thank you very much, Connor. It's great to see you this morning. And Kallum, it's fantastic. It's been so many years since last time we had an opportunity to meet with each other.
Absolutely. The three of us together, it's been about 2016, I think.
Wow.
Which was tweeted in Sydney. Were you a master trainer at that time?
If I was a master trainer at that time, probably not. No, it was just a little bit before that. I was on my way there.
When did you become an esteemed NLP master trainer?
Well, it was about, It was about 10 years ago. 2000, yeah, maybe. Right around that time.
10 years ago already.
Inside. Yeah, 10 years ago, I've certified my first 5 or 6 master trainer already. So, yeah.
Amazing. But you don't look Thai. Your accent isn't Thai. So can you share with us a little bit about your background and where you grew up?
So I'm originally from Montreal, Canada. So if you're wondering, in your audience, what is a funny accent? It's a French Canadian, and grew up there, and then moved to Vancouver, then moved to Japan, lived 2 years in Japan working as a financial planner and helping people to save money, invest. Wrote a small book called The Total Financial Freedom System after I graduated from my first NLP practitioner program. And did that for a couple of years, and then moved from Japan to Thailand. And now I've been in Bangkok, Thailand for 24 years. So it makes me more than half Thai. I spent time there than anywhere else in the world. And from Thailand, I've been traveling to Vietnam, Myanmar, Singapore, Malaysia, and Japan to do NLP certification program and ICF coach to coach.
Incredible. You're kind of a big deal over in Southeast Asia or Asia. How many people would you say that you have taught or trained or had in front of you over this time?
Last time I count was about 40,000. So now 40,000. So now it should be about 45,000.
Yes. 45,000 people in this world have been influenced in one way, shape, or form by Sebastian. That's probably a good thing for the world. What do you say?
Well, Connor, if you do the math, I have literally been training 22 days a month, every month for the last, I think, 8-9 years.
Wow.
And I've been doing this for like 17 years. So that's a lot of training. I think today is my day off. And I've been doing 9 days of training in 3 different countries, or 3 different cities, 2 different countries. And tomorrow we start again with a Master NLP Practitioner program.
Wow. Where are you? Are you in Thailand now, or where are you right now?
In Hanoi, Vietnam.
And it's early where you are. Thank you for getting up to be here with Kallum.
Well, yeah, 6:20 a.m. Yes.
Sebastian, I met you back in 2014 at my NLP trainers training. And one thing that I remember about you is your energy. So to hear that you've been teaching for the last, I think you said 9 or so years, for 22 days a month, that's just absolutely blows my mind and incredible, because I know how much energy it does take to pour out to your audience. And you're not talking to 1 or 2 people, you're talking to hundreds, sometimes thousands of people. I think you mentioned just before we got on that you've just recently been on stage with 1,700 people sitting in front of you. That's just absolutely remarkable. What I'm curious about, and one of the other things that I remember about you before I get into the question, was that you're incredibly generous with your time. I was just starting my journey at that point, and I was just a young guy from a small country town that really had no idea, really what I was going to be doing with the skills that I was learning. And it really wasn't until NLP trainers training that I started to take my career in this business seriously. But I remember you were very generous with your time, not only me, but a lot of the other people that we just getting started out. And you really, you didn't have to do it. We asked you, and you sat down with us for hours to go through your different scripts and the different ways that you would do what we wanted to do, which was get people in front of us to train them as well. When did all of this, love for helping people, this love for giving, this journey, what motivated this journey? Because you're in Montreal in Canada, a beautiful place in the world to live in, and so is Vancouver. Vancouver's amazing. I've visited there. What has motivated you to make these huge, big changes in your life, take these big steps and continue to want to give and want to help people? What drives you, and what was the spark that led that or started that journey?
Yeah, that's a great question, Kallum. It all started 24 years ago when I was in Anthony Robbins' seminar in Singapore. And I was sitting there at 21, 22 years old with 10,000 people. And Tony Robbins was talking about his life. And there was a time when Tony didn't have money to live, and he was washing his dishes in the bathtub, and he was overweight, and he really had reached rock bottom. And Tony Robbins was telling the story that what transformed him, what changed him, what gave him the ability to become the world's #1 speaker on the planet, it's learning the tools and the technique of NLP. And that was the first time that I heard about neuro-linguistic programming. And to me, it made complete sense that if the world's #1 speaker on the planet is using NLP, and even now, like 48 years later, he is still using the tools and the technique of NLP in every training that he does, in every book that he writes. So if you read Awake the Giant Within or Unlimited Power, I mean, it's all like 95% NLP. So the passion that I have is originally coming from Tony Robbins' enthusiasm and never-ending energy that he has to share with people, transform people's lives. So from a very early on age, my #1 role model was Tony Robbins in science of speaking. Then when I started to discover NLP and I looked for a good NLP trainer, then I found Ted James. And Ted James became my #1 role model for teaching NLP. And then that's how I met Conor and you, is through the journey of becoming a practitioner, master practitioner, trainer, master trainer. But I've never lost that role model attachment to Tony Robbins of teaching NLP in an enthusiastic way, in a passionate way. And through that passion, you need to go through the process of generosity. You have to be like generous with your time, because what you're doing is, when I had an opportunity to meet with you and the small group, this is the beginning of your journey. So I have an opportunity to share the passion and the tools and the technique and the mindset of NLP. And there is, Colin, there is nothing more that I would want to do than spend my time with you or anyone else that is interested to become a successful NLP trainer or become certified practitioner or master practitioner. That is the best use of my time. So I make it as an important part.
Yeah, it was definitely felt. I remember it was one of the conversations that I had with you where something just clicked. You made it, because obviously when we see the trainers on stage, you talked about Anthony Robbins, you talked about Tad James, you see them on stage, they're these shining lights and they are up on a pedestal. At least I put them up on a pedestal at the time. And, you're like, wow, look how far ahead they are. It seems a little bit unreachable or unattainable. But when I spoke to you and you shared the information that you shared, you really made it seem achievable. You made it seem simple. You made it seem like, hey, if I can do it, you can do it. And I found that incredibly encouraging at the time. I found it, it motivated. It was one of you and another gentleman called Simon Gledhill, and Sue Brereton, another lady who was coaching me at the time. It was the combination of the master trainers and the trainers that were there supporting us at our trainers training that really opened my eyes to this career actually being possible. So you definitely have a gift for that. And it's great to see that you're having such a huge impact in Southeast Asia as well.
Yeah, great. Thank you very much, Colin. And it's fantastic to see your success and your growth as well. And now you're working together with Conor. So congratulations for that. That's a huge achievement.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Sebastian, for those who don't know, I'll share a little story about how we met. And that was in 2006. The Tad James office was in Plux Point in Sydney, which is right next to King's Cross, which is considered to be the red light district of Sydney. And our office was in a beautiful 30-story apartment building that we had transformed into an office overlooking the Harbour Bridge and the Opera House. And I got this, I had a call with a guy and he's like, oh, I'm in town. I'm in Sydney to see Tony Robbins. And he's talking about NLP. Do you guys teach NLP? And I'm like, absolutely, we teach NLP. He's like, okay, I'll come to your office. So we caught up downstairs in 2006. I think I bought you a coffee. And from that point onwards, for 3 years, you kept emailing me and calling me for a price of trainings. And like what Cal and I have now, a thing called price transparency, which means everyone has the same opportunity to get the same pricing. And you, for 3 years, you try to lower the price. And then after the third year, it went up. And then that must have been the catalyst for you to then move forward with your journey. Well, you said you, because you were in wealth creation before then, weren't you? Before you started learning and training NLP, you were in wealth creation. Is that correct?
Was a financial planner.
Okay. And what, I'm just connecting the dots now from a financial planner to learning NLP and wanting to become a trainer of NLP, because when you were enrolled, when you booked, you booked everything. You didn't just book level one.
Master Prac, from Master Prac all the way up.
From Master Prac. Yeah, that's right. So you were clear that you wanted to become a trainer. You were clear that you wanted to make this a business for yourself. What was the transition from financial planner, which in theory would be a very secure business or very secure role that you had created for yourself, and you're dealing with finance and wealth. So in theory, you're making exponential amount of it as you're in it, because you're in it 24/7. What was the catalyst for that transition to go from secure business financial planner, teaching people how to use and create more wealth in their life, to then travel the world being an NLP trainer?
So great question. So it started, I was a financial planner and I really loved my job and it was great. I was meeting, hundreds of people, having appointment, finding out where they are financially, where they want to go, retirement plan, kids education plan, investment plans, finding out the best investment, return on investment, all of that. So that it was great. It was wonderful. But then I reached a plateau where I felt that as a financial planner, it was impossible to provide the best advice. It was impossible to come up with the truth with each and every client. So my motivation to be a financial planner started to go down. And then I thought, well, what do people really want or really need is a wealth coach. So went from being 100% financial planner to become a wealth coach. And that's
What's the difference between a financial planner and a wealth coach?
absolutely nothing except the identity. So when I changed my identity from a financial planner to a wealth coach, I felt power. And the difference was that I was using a financial planning, wealth coaching, educational program. And that's how I started as a trainer and as a coach. So I wrote a wealth coaching book, and that's how I started in coaching and training. And an expert, I was very good in financial planning and investment. So this is also one recommendation that I give to people, that very often the fastest and easiest way to start as a coach or as a trainer is to relate it back to your area of expertise. Immediately, it became easy for me to do wealth coaching, and it became easy to do seminar and training. And then for 2-3 years, and then again, I reached a plateau where I no longer wanted to do only financial planning or wealth coaching with my client. So I wanted to do life coaching. I wanted to do business coaching, but more importantly, I wanted to become an NLP trainer. And that's when I decided to become an NLP trainer and master practitioner. At that time, we were trying to get the best price. We couldn't. And finally, I closed a big deal.
Yes.
I had $22,000 into my bank account. Your cost was $20,000 plus the flight. So I took all my money and transferred it to you, Connor. And it was the best decision that I've ever made. All of it.
I love that story because you talk about investing.
And then I was in Vegas, did a master practitioner, NLP trainer, hypnotherapy trainer, business in a box. It was 35 days of training in a row. Came back to Bangkok and started my first NLP practitioner program.
Incredible. And I was just thinking, Kallum and I are very big on, what the number one investment is in your entire life. So you were helping other people invest their money externally. And then you took the big leap and fully invested in yourself.
Inside.
As a result, it's paved the way for a very, incredibly successful training career. And you've made a huge impact in the world. The number of people I've met who have trained with you or been influenced by you over the years, third degree of separation sort of stuff, they pop up on a regular basis. When they mention NLP in Asia, I often drop your name, and they more often than not they walked through your door at some level. So for me, it's really great to have you here, and I heard the listeners can tap into, find you, tap into what you represent, I guess, on a global level with transformation.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Warren Buffett once was interviewed by the journalist, and the journalist asked Warren Buffett, "Hey, Warren, what is the best investment people can do?" And everybody was expecting Warren Buffett to talk about, Coca-Cola or an ETF or some kind of investment. And Warren Buffett said the best investment that anyone can make is not in real estate, is not in the stock market, it's in themselves. It's
Warren
always-
Buffett.
yeah, absolutely. And he specifically said in presentation skills. So Colin, since you do presentation skills, you can quote Warren Buffett next time. Yeah.
Presentation skills are priceless. I was at a corporate sales training last Wednesday, and half the day was on presenting.
Yeah.
On how they present and how they hold themselves in that space, because the words that people use are one level, but the 93% of their communication is one study, or the 60% of their communication in another study is completely nonverbal. And if you could master nonverbal on stage, you bet you can master nonverbal one-on-one or over the phone or over a Zoom meeting or over a coffee.
Absolutely. And that's also why I'm so passionate. Because it's important. Like, I was doing a seminar in front of 1,700 people.
Yeah, that's rock solid.
When I ask people, like, what did you enjoy most about the training? They always say my energy. It's so important. Yeah.
So
Definitely something, sorry, Connor. Definitely something we feel, and I've felt all the way through whenever I watch your stuff. There's definitely so much energy with it. When you are on stage and you are based in Thailand and you do trainings all around the Southeast Asia area, are you training in English or are you training in the local languages?
Yeah. So in Thailand, for the last 17 years, it's been in English, except the last 2 months. We had a strategic plan. We had our strategic plan, about 6 months ago now? And it's like hitting my head on a concrete wall and wondering, why is it that the business is not growing? It is ridiculous to do training in English in a country like Thailand, where 99% of the people speak Thai. So, not that we cannot build a brand, but it's very hard to expand. And now the market has changed. Everything is done through Facebook ads and other types of marketing. So if you do a Facebook ad in Thailand in English, you will get a very small amount of people that are your potential client, and you're spending a lot of money. But if you do spend the same amount of money, but you do it in Thai language, which is what we started to do, you can have the double, triple of the amount of people, and you also have more referrals. So for the first time ever, we did our first training in English with Thai translation, and it worked really, really well. And we got some better result than just in English. And in Vietnam, it's all in English with Vietnamese translation. And I do training in Ho Chi Minh and in Hanoi. And in Myanmar, I have 2 certified NLP master trainer over there. So they do for example, the NLP practitioner is 6 days. So they do the first 3 days in Myanmar language. And then I show up and I do the last 3 days in English with Burmese translation. And it's the same for Japan.
And is there something special you have to do from an energy standpoint to generate that energy through the language translation? Is there anything additional that you need to do in order to get that across? Or it works smoothly?
Of course, there's some best kept secret of Sebastian Leblond's success to health. Are you asking me to share those secret with your incredible audience?
I'd love 1 or 2. Yeah, like I think there's a lot of
Absolutely.
scope for people wanting to go into different countries and being
And
able
you-
to Yeah.
You know, this business, it's challenging to make it to the top. But what is even more challenging is to stay at the top, not because of competition or economy or the reputation of NLP or anything like this. It's a really of a mental game. And one of the most difficult part of it is to stay in is your energy level. Oh, my God, how many NLP practitioner have I done? I must have done 200. Like next month's column, I have 3 NLP practitioner next month in 3 different countries. One in Thailand, one in Vietnam, and one in Myanmar. So I keep repeating the same thing. Yeah, same story, same content. I remember one time many years ago, I was in Myanmar and I was delivering a training and I literally almost fall asleep telling the content and the story.
Just did autopilot.
Like I was on the autopilot and I almost fall asleep. And then I realized that, oh my God, wake up, Sebastian. You know, these are the people that are hearing your story for the first time. These are the people that are hearing NLP for the first time. Wake up. And then complete shift in my energy, right? So the way that I keep energy is here, and here's my best keep secret is every year I will go to a place called Atmanjai Detox Center in Phuket, Thailand, or I will go to the Philippines, and it's a 7-day retreat. And during that 7-day retreat, you don't eat anything. And
Nothing.
you don't eat anything. You only have shakes. And then you don't eat anything, just the shakes, and you do something interesting. It is what we call colonics. Have you heard Connor?
Colonics?
No, colonics.
Yeah, I've heard of colonics.
Okay.
I've heard of colonics. I've heard of colonics.
All right. So imagine a big basket of water attached to the ceiling. I think it's like 20 liter attached to the ceiling. And there's 1 scoop of coffee in it. And then there's a tube that comes down. And then you take the tube collar and then you put it in your butt. And you let the water and the coffee coming into your stomach. And then it fill it in, and then all the shit comes out. And you do that for an hour. So you do that twice a day for 7 days.
Yeah.
So first of all, you lose approximately 7 kilos, between 5 to 7 kilos in 7 days. Your vision improve. Your skin becomes softer. You look younger. A lot of people say I look young for some reason. And I know that that's one of the reasons why is the colonics. And by the time you finish the 7 days, your energy level is at its optimal. Yeah. And so that's one thing that I do every year. The second thing that I do for energy now, recently in the last 2 years, is meditation. About 5-6 years ago, I went through a really, really difficult time, into a bit of a trauma related to business when my business partner left, and it created a lot of unresolved negative emotion and lack of understanding of how the world works. And I was trying all these NLP tools and technique. I was a master trainer, and it helped. But there was 1 or 2 things that I didn't understand, which was about suffering. So this is a very powerful concept that one of the things that hold people back and make people have suffering is actually expectation for things to be in a certain way, expectation for things to not change. And this is a big challenge for NLP trainer.
Hey guys, Kallum and Connor here from Connect Coaching. I hope you're enjoying this episode of the Unplugged podcast. We're jumping in to let you know about something really exciting, the Forever Client Matrix.
Absolutely. What we love doing is lighting people up and having them realize that their future is bright and, most importantly, making a difference in this world. So we are very excited to be able to share this with you.
If you want to turn every prospect into a Forever Client, then please click on the link below in the description and get instant access now to your preview of the Forever Client Matrix.
Enjoy.
We start at the bottom and we have zero expectation, isn't it? And then we do our best and we grow and we become successful. But then we want to stay there. So we want to continue to grow and we have this expectation. And once our expectation is not meeting our blueprint, or expectation is not meeting the reality, we go through this difficult time. So I found out that meditation, especially Vipassana meditation, was an incredible experience for me. 15 days, silence, retreat, one-on-one with the monk and the meditation teacher, was a phenomenal experience for me to release everything. And since then, I'm empowered. And that has helped me to regain my energy.
And as it's with the colonic experience and the monk experience, you talk a lot about releasing. So metaphorically, what do you think that is?
Well, there's two parts. One is the energy, right? So the training and coaching, especially like 22 days a month, every month, is very hard on your body and on your mind. So you need that 7 days to completely let go, for your body to regenerate and your mindset as well. So you regain the energy. And then there's the other part as a trainer. And I've seen that a lot. I've seen many of my students who became NLP trainer or master trainer, that they're way better than me. They're way more intelligent. They have way more potential. But you see, the mental attitude of going through obstacle, challenges, and problem, and be able to deal with it in a logical way, release it, and keep moving forward, is their downfall. And that's why it's a good question, and it's very important. You have to do what you preach, and you have to have these strategy to allow you to move forward, especially when you're at my level, where it's just nonstop.
Not only would it be nonstop, when you're in those large audiences, and Cal would be very familiar with this as well, you are the magnet and the sponge for everyone's projections, everyone's unresourcefulness, everyone's happiness, everyone's doubts, everyone's anger, everyone's guilt, everyone's sadness, everyone's excitement. I mean, that's a lot of energy coming your way. You're like a conductor rod for lightning. And do you find that you have a strategy? Because I've met people who go up on stage, they get a taste of what that is like, and then they scurry back off stage, and it's too much for them. Being in front of 100 people who are maybe agreeing with what they're saying, maybe not agreeing with what they're saying, being confused about what they're saying, that is something you can feel when you're on stage. You can literally feel whether someone is on board with what you're saying or someone is not on board with what you're saying. And it takes a certain amount of skill and secret sauce. I don't know what it is, in order to be able to absorb and keep going with topical conversation that you're talking about, do you have strategy for that? Have you been training for so long that it's not even a concept in your mind anymore? Or do you do any energy work where you consciously the decision not to absorb any untoward attitudes that are coming your way?
Yeah. Okay. So the third best kept secret that I have in order to have high energy is what I do, is what I call an incantation. Right. So as a coach and as a trainer, what we do is we teach people to have a vision board for their life or a strategic plan for their business. But if you have a vision board and you put it on the wall, but you never look at it, or you put it in the shelves and you never look at it, it's not going to work. So you have to combine the vision, the purpose that you have in your vision, combined with an incantation. An incantation is a phrase that you repeat again and again and again with a very high level of intensity so that you block all of that negative thoughts, negative emotion, limiting beliefs of the people around you. And you are reprogramming yourself to bring with you that legacy. You bring with you that energy, that focus, that leadership role that it is your responsibility to bring to the stage, because those people came to see you for that. So I will usually do 15-minute incantation before each training, so that at peak state, and I reprogram my mind based on the outcome that I want from the training. Would you like to hear my incantation, Conor and Kallum?
Before you give it to us, I have a question. Is it similar to an affirmation as such, or how is it different? Because I believe it is different.
Yeah, an affirmation is usually a lot shorter. So it will be like, I'm confident, I'm happy, I'm rich, which better than nothing, but an incantation is deeper. You get more ingredient to the formula, such as purpose, identity, beliefs, values, and even
Beliefs and values.
yeah. So you combine all of that together into your incantation. And this is something that I got from Robert Dills, actually, that I teach into my master NLP practitioner program. It's Robert Dills' logical level, which is one thing that I add into the master practitioner, because having a purpose is so crucial. Yeah. So would you like to hear it?
Absolutely.
Color? All right. So it goes like this. Now I am the voice. I believe, no doubt, I can see, hear, and feel in the world of the one NLP master trainer. I'm positive. I'm intelligent. I'm confident. Yes. Now I'm the voice. I believe, no doubt, I can see, hear, and feel in the world of the one NLP master trainer. I'm positive. I'm intelligent. I'm confident. Yes. Now I am the voice. I believe, no doubt, I can see, hear, and feel in the world of the one NLP master trainer. I'm positive. I'm intelligent. I'm confident. Yes. Now I'm the voice. I believe, no doubt, I can see, hear, and feel in the world of the one NLP master trainer. I'm positive. I'm intelligent. I'm confident. Yes. Now I am the voice. I believe, no doubt, I can see, hear, and feel in the world of the one NLP master trainer. I'm positive. I'm intelligent. I'm confident. Yes. And when I go like this for 15 minutes,
15 minutes
a day, right before going on stage, or when I wake up early in the morning,
Yeah.
able to block anything,
reprogramming yourself for how
on a daily basis. And that's one of the techniques that I use to keep me focused. I call this the success habits. Yeah.
you the amount of moving parts in your life is insane. Because I've known you for a long period of time. You have your 3 or 4 international locations you train in. You have a business in Thailand. You have about 8 or 9 employees there. And that's 12 employees, and that's always moving. would you say, and then you're answering a question about, how do I release a negative emotion? You're on stage asking, hey, I've got sadness from the past. How do I release that? So is this one of your ways to 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 handle? How do you handle all of those moving parts? How do you? Is it unconscious confidence, remaining conscious of them? What's your strategy for that?
Well, those things that I mentioned, the detox, the meditation, the incantation, the passion. Tony Robbins is a role model, right? Um, Support from you, no, having you as a role model as well, Connor, right? So for so many years, because I know that, in the old days with Ted James, you're the secret sauce behind the success of the Ted James company. And at least for me and so many other people. And this is also where I met Kallum as well. So you need time to be at your best. And I think that when people have a mental breakdown or mental health issue, or what happening in our business, what happening with our business with people who are NLP trainer or master trainers is they self-sabotage themselves because they cannot handle it after a while. So you gotta so you have to reframe yourself on a regular basis. And that's how I do it. But again, it goes back to the purpose.
I'm going to ask, what's your why? Why do you do all this?
Because my purpose is to unleash your power for success and happiness, to have an extraordinary life in your business, career, relationship, wealth, and health. And my mission on how I do this, I'm convinced that NLP are the most powerful tools and technique in the world for people to achieve their goals, success, purpose. And you need to master the tools and the technique of NLP, hypnotherapy, timeline therapy, and also other modality like coaching and other things.
You teach ICF coaching as well, right?
That's correct. And business coaching, we have an extraordinary business coaching program.
Nice. What's next? Sorry, Cal, you had a question?
Yeah, I was interested to know a little bit more because we talked about your rituals and your habits and generate energy, but what was sort of hinted at, but maybe not obvious to everyone, but this seems to be across all of the things that you mentioned, that there seems to be a spiritual element to it. The Vipassana, the fasting, the incantation, as you called it. There seems to be quite a strong spiritual aspect to it. Am I right in thinking that? And can you elaborate on that connection that you have, and whether you feel like that's a necessary part of who you are and your success and your ability to cultivate energy within your body and share it with so many people?
Yes, I mean, the spiritual path is not something that I have explored yet. Now, Vipassana meditation is very interesting because my first experience about doing meditation, and remember when I say like Vipassana meditation, it's hardcore meditation, not of that hairy, fairy, fluffy, guided visualization, which is very valuable and very useful. And I use that and I like it. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about waking up at 3:45 a.m. And do 8 hours of meditation in a day. And sleep on literally the floor in a -5 star meditation center. And so it's really like challenging as well. the meditation at its core can be used in a non-religious way, in a non-spiritual way. It can be used as almost as an NLP technique. Like it would be technically okay to add meditation in a 2-hour segment of an NLP practitioner or master practitioner, or add it as an extra certificate. You have NLP prac, you have AB NLP, you have timeline therapy, you have hypnosis, and then you have meditation. It would fit perfectly. Now, what was the breakthrough for me, if I may share personally, and I think that maybe different people have different belief and different religion. It was not really a spiritual path. It was more of a understanding Buddhism, specifically suffering. And this was a very huge breakthrough for me. And this, funny enough, is something that we don't talk much in NLP. The suffering part, that we want things to be the same. And in Buddhism, they say that nothing is permanent. And that is a magical moment for me to realize that all the suffering that I had and the difficult time with my ex-business partner and these situations, that I was the cause that created them. I am the one that made it happen, a little bit like cause and effect. So happen because of my own way of thinking. So as soon as I understood that the root cause of the problem was me and not him, then I shift. And it could be spiritual, it could be religion, or it could be, like we call it in NLP, we call it a breakthrough, a moment. So when I realized that my suffering was coming from the things that I was holding on, that I did not want it to change. I want him to stay the same, and I wanted my business to be the same, which is not. Nothing's permanent. So I think it's, and for the detox, it's about the body. It's about the mind. And the incantation is about belief. So I would say that it's coming back to NLP. And this is why I love NLP so much, because it really works. And that's how we change lives. And there's many ways of applying the tools and the technique of NLP. Yeah.
That was special. Thank you for sharing that, Sebastian. Great question, Cal. So what's next, Sebastian?
What's next? What's next? What's next is really interesting. Wow, when was that? Maybe I would think about 5, 6 years ago, I went to a training with Blair Singer in India. And I think it was, And in that training, Blair told me, Sebastian, if you want to succeed as a trainer, you need to create your own intellectual property. A little bit like what you've created, Conor, with the client matrix, right? Kallum, yeah. So
it was a joint effort. It was a modeling exercise, and it was 10 years of watching Conor like a hawk, and watching everything that he did to create success with selling and enrolling people into coaching and training packages.
Yeah, very nice, very nice. So Blair said that to me, and at that time, nothing came to my mind, because I was in the zone of teaching NLP practitioner, master practitioner, trainer, all that. And I'm very happy with that. And then now in the last 2-3 years, I notice that all coaches and trainers are learning different modalities. Some people are learning NLP, some other people are learning hypnotherapy, other people learn ICF coaching, CBT, and many other modalities. And it's almost like everybody is learning what they're learning, and they're so proud and confident about it that they believe that what they have learned and what they're using is the best of the best, and kind of hold them back from learning more. So what's next for me is that now I have created my own system. So it's called finally, I've been able to connect all the dots together, which is called the result system. The fastest path to success. And this is for two reasons. The first reason is for people who wants to achieve success and reach their goal in business, career, relationship, health, and wealth. But it is also for people who wants to become a coach and a trainer and be able to use the system to produce results with their coaching client.
Yeah.
And what I've done is I've combined more than just NLP. I've combined ICF coaching, hypnotherapy, NLP together into a system. So now what's next is to bring that system to the world. And tomorrow is the launch of it.
Tomorrow's a world exclusive, world first.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm going to do it through the Master NLP Practitioner program. Yeah. So reorganize the entire sequence of the way that I'm teaching the Master Practitioner. And I'm adding some new things into it in order to include what is a must in order for people to succeed. So what's next for me is helping people to have a very clear roadmap to achieve their goals and be able to do it with other people. Yeah. So I'm going to also start doing some group coaching. Can you believe it? In the last 17 years, I have never done group coaching. I've only done one-on-one coaching and public speaking. Ever done like group coaching of 10 people aiming at the same goal. So we're going to do that for the first time because of now I have the system.
That's amazing. Have you been working on that in the background? How long have you been working on that for?
2.5 years.
Amazing. Because you have the 9 clouds. You have a cloud system or something like that.
5 clouds. That's right. So this system is the evolution of the 5 clouds.
I see.
Yeah. So story short is purpose, journey, 5 clouds.
And for our viewers, what are the 5 clouds?
The 5 human clouds. So Connor, when you think of the sun in the sky, what comes to mind?
Hot, heat.
Exactly. Energy, power. Right? Colin, what happened to the heat, energy, and power if there's a cloud that goes around the sun? What happened to the light, energy? Does the sun continue to have the same amount of power, or is it blocked?
Well, if there was a cloud around it, is that what you meant?
Yes.
I think the cloud would probably keep it insulated in that area, right?
That's right. So the cloud will block the light, the energy. Now, even though the energy and the light and the power has been blocked, does the sun continue to have the same amount of power or not?
Correct. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Just like our coaching client, just like our NLP student, they have unlimited power, unlimited potential. But the problem is that they have one or many of the 5 human clouds that is holding them back, preventing them from fulfilling their goal and reaching success. So the first human cloud is negative thinking. And we always remove the negative thinking into positive thinking first, right? The second human cloud is negative emotion to positive learning. Then we remove the limiting belief and we create new empowering belief. And we remove inner conflict to values realignment. And then the last cloud is bad behavior or bad habit to good behavior and good habits. And that is the process that we use for the personal, in your language, it will be the personal breakthrough session. So in the last 17 years, I've done quite a bit of work in denormalizing in even more detail the personal breakthrough session into 7 steps.
Yeah.
7 steps is designed to remove the 5 clouds. And that has been working phenomenally well.
I really like that analogy of the sun, infinite source of energy, and something as simple as a cloud can just blow its way in, block the sun, block that energy coming your way, and then with another gust of wind, it goes away.
Yes, correct. Using the tools and the technique of NLP.
Wow! So today's a day off. And you're on a plane later on today back to Thailand.
Yeah, correct. I always use my day off to fly in or fly out.
Incredible. And with your class, where do you have your students coming in from starting tomorrow? From all over the world?
Yeah, from tomorrow, we've got some people that are based in Thailand. We have a couple people, one person from China, one person from Malaysia, one person from Phuket. So yeah, a few people from around the world and some people based in Bangkok. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
My friend, Kallum, any final thoughts or comments to Mr. Sebastian? Can you hear my dog? Is just
Sometimes, not always. It's just a huge thank you once again for being so generous with your time, coming on here and speaking to our community. I think there's a lot that we can all learn from you and your example. And I like what you said before, that you felt that there was people that were more talented or maybe had more resources or, maybe could have been more advanced, but the reason why you were able to not only last the test of time, but also continue to grow and expand your notoriety and your network and your growth in your audience is because of your energy. That was a huge big takeaway for me today. And then, a couple of the ways that you managed that throughout the year, I think it's, incredibly powerful for anybody listening. It's a trainer or a coach or wanting to be just great at anything in general. Having the energy, just like time, is one of those resources that, it can be a game changer. It can be that edge that people can have to continue to move forward. The ability to move through those challenging points, because, for business owners, for people that are, doing something for the first time, they're having to learn on the spot. And, it's a high stakes game because, you're funding your lifestyle, your life, your family with the money that you're making. There are moments where you can almost feel like just burning the whole place down just to simplify everything again. But you showed that there are breakthroughs that you can have even underneath that to gain the next level in your life. So thank you for your generous time. I really appreciate it. Where can people find you, Sebastian?
They can find me at NLP Top Coach Thailand. Yeah, NLPtopcoach.com. And what else? NLP Top Coach. Go on the website and fill in a form, or phone number is there, or you can find me on what's
Facebook, LinkedIn. You're everywhere.
Yeah, and you can find me on WhatsApp as well. 66 for Thailand, 81-843-4272.
Cool, Sebastian.
Thank you much.
Brilliant. Yeah, Sebastian, I'm thoroughly enjoying you here.
Colin, for having me. Yeah, thank you, Colin, for having me, and Connor as well. It's been it's been really fun, actually, and I'm glad that I woke up at 5:30 a.m.
Huge thank you again. I will stop the Facebook Live and then just stay on for a second. Bye for now.
Hey guys, Kallum and Connor here from Connect Coaching. I hope you're enjoying this episode of the Unplugged podcast. We're jumping in to let you know about something really exciting. If you are a practitioner, a coach, or a trainer in the alternative therapy modality space, the Forever Client Matrix is something that we've modeled in the last 30 combined years, both Connor and my experience. And we've turned it into a 2-day intensive, and we want to give you a preview of that Forever Client Matrix.
Absolutely.
We want to make the bar for them to enter into that program very, very low and have them get incredible results.
I've sold about $40 million worth, and together we've sold about $100 million worth with our teams.
That's right. We believe that trust and reliability is the currency of the future. So if you want to turn every transaction into a transformational experience, if you want to turn every prospect into a forever client, then please click on the link below in the description and get instant access now to your preview of the Forever Client Matrix.
Enjoy.